Hi guys, welcome back to UKFlyFisher. Today I have a Halloween themed fly for you and we're going to be looking at the Pulsefire Ghost. Now a lot of you have been asking how I tie my Pulsefire flies, so I'm going to show you just how to do that today. Now it's slightly different in the fact I'm using a 15mm UV Straggle in this one. Usually I'd be using the medium crystal hackle or the Vegas Straggle from Blob Buzzer. Almost all the materials in today's videos can be purchased from Blob Buzzer, so I'll leave links to his Facebook and his eBay page in the description below the video. Well, that's enough of the talking. Let's go and see just how we tie the Pulsefire Ghost. Once again, it's a lure, so we're using the size 10 short shank special from Elite Flies. It's an absolutely great hook. As soon as you start using them, you'll never look back. We're using a 3.3mm white bead, and for the second day in a row, we're going to be using 140 UTC in white. So I'm just going to start just behind the bead, take a layer of thread all the way down and back up to behind the bead. Then I'm going to come in and cut away that waste piece. And for the tail, I'm going to be using white Marabou. This is just Blob Buzzers, just because I'm using their materials for this video. And there's plenty of usable material there. So I'm going to take about 1.5 to 2 inches. Just grab it with my finger and thumb and rip it away from the stem. And then with your other finger and thumb, you can just group them together until they're nice and manageable for you, like so. And then we're going to come in and snip away all this mess at the bottom. Just pull away any loose bits so we've got a nice place to tie down on. And then place it behind the bead, up between your finger and thumb with the tying silk and down. And then we just wrap it back and tie it on top of the hook. When we get to the back, lift your tail up, tying silk underneath, and then back over the top. This is just going to keep it nice and tight on top and stop it from spinning. Our tail's a little bit long there. We're looking for sort of 2 times the length of the hook. So I'm just going to pull off the waste pieces that won't be needed. Like so. Now that looks long enough. But as always, with most of my flies, I'm going to put a little bit of flash in the tail. And in this case, we're going to be using a silver tinsel. Again, this is Blob Buzzer's version. All I'm going to do is take 3 strands. And then place it the full length of the hook on one side. Like so. Pull this over and pull it the full length on the other side, your side. And then all I'm going to do is cut it just in line with where the tail ends. As you can see, the fly's really starting to come alive there. Now, the question we always get asked is, how do I make my Pulsefire lures? What are the materials and how do you get the effect? Because obviously the body goes translucent and then you get the bright vibrant colours coming through them. Now in this situation we don't have the bright colours, but what we do, we have flash on top of that translucent white, and it really gives a natural sort of fry pattern imitation in the water. And so to achieve this, we're using a UV Ice Easyegg from Blob Buzzer. And we're also using the 15mm UV silver Humungous Straggle from Blob Buzzer. And what you do is you wind the 2 materials on together. So with the eggs C, we're just going to take a little bit of the material off the top, so we've got the core showing. And then we're just going to line it up with the Humungous silver on the inside. So you just put the Humungous silver on the inside, the eggs C on the outside, put them together, tie them in on the side of the fly, like so. Make sure it's nice and tight, and then make your way forwards to behind the eye. So now they're both tied in together, we pull the materials back so that none of the straggle gets stuck, and we wind them on together. This is what confused a lot of people. They thought you had to tie it in afterwards on top. It's not the case. You tie them in together and it gives you a really good effect in the water as these longer reflective fibers break through that sort of translucent body, and it gives you a really natural fry imitation. Usually we use like neon colours. The Vegas Straggle is really good for this. Medium crystal hackle is good for this. But you just want a bit of contrast for your body. In this case, we've got the Ghost Pulsefire lure, which represents a small fry. So we haven't really got the sort of contrast that most of the other ones do. But this creates a great effect in the water. And then we just come in front of both of them. So that's 3 turns in front of them both. And then I'm just going to hold it up again and take another turn behind. And again, come in with 3 turns. Then all I'm going to do is quickly whip finish. Three turns behind the bead, pull it down nice and tight, cut away your waste piece, then get the Stanley knife, holding both materials, put your Stanley blade against the bead, not the sharp bit, just the flat edge, and then pull it into the blade. Really easy way to cut it off. Well, that's it guys, that's the Pulsefire Ghost. Most of the materials from today's video can be purchased from Blob Buzzer. I'll leave links to both his eBay and his Facebook page below. As you can see, when it gets wet, that's going to be a deadly frying imitation. It goes very streamlined, and then you've got the translucentness of the ecstasy material mixed with that silver Humungous Straggle, and that really catches the light underwater. That's going to be a fly that's going to be in my box all year round, but you can bet your bottom dollar that I'll be fishing it more between October and March, and it's going to catch me a lot of fish. Hopefully you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, make sure you give it a like, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you tomorrow.